Welcome to Fireside Gaming. My name's Billum, and today's retro review has us exploring Ristar. Outside of Sonic games, Ristar was the only Sega Genesis game I knew until just recently, and even then, that was due to its inclusion in the Sonic Mega Collection on GameCube. Thankfully, the game also got a re-release on Steam, which is how I'm playing it now. Ristar is a platformer that has players taking on the role of the title character. They're a young starling off to save the galaxy, and must do so by freeing the leaders of several planets. This has them starting their journey on planet Flora, where they have to save the planet's leader from a mind-controlling henchman named Riho. Each of the planets in Ristar feature 2 levels to play through before entering a boss battle that serves as the planet's final level. Along the way, players will have to make use of Ristar's stretchy arms and hard head to progress. Ristar's main form of attack is grabbing an enemy and slamming into him with his head. He can also use this grab to swing around levels, climb to higher heights, solve puzzles, and discover secrets. It's a neat mechanic, and one that I don't think I've ever seen replicated since this game's release. Ristar has players traveling to 6 planets in their journey across an entire galaxy. Each of these planets have their own themes as well. The starting planet is your basic forest, appropriately called Planet Flora. There's also a water planet called Undertow, the fire planet Scorch, music planet Sonata, snow planet Freon, and mechanical planet Automaton. Yes, the developers were very original with their naming of these planets. While the themes of these planets may seem standard, Ristar's unique moveset keeps them interesting. Also, can I just say that this is one of the only platforming games I've ever played where I didn't immediately hate the water or fire levels. Sonic fans also have nothing to fear, as Ristar doesn't need to hold his breath underwater. I mean, he travels through space unaided, so it only makes sense the little guy doesn't need oxygen. Some of the other levels in the game, such as Planet Sonata and Planet Automaton, also add in some fun puzzles to the game. That includes navigating mazes, carrying statues around to press buttons with, and other standard puzzle stuff. It's a nice change from the straight platforming found in most of the other levels. Players that enjoy exploring levels can also find extras that make the trip worthwhile. That includes bonus stages that have hidden treasures. Players that collect enough of these treasures will unlock passwords that they can use on subsequent playthroughs. These passwords show up at the end of the game after the credits roll. Ristar is also filled to the brim with fun music for players to enjoy during their spacefaring adventure. Planet Flora easily has one of the best songs in the game, and it's not hard for these tracks to get stuck in my head, which is a good thing. The same is also true of the boss music, and of course, I can't forget the awesome music that plays when Ristar completes a planet and travels to the next one. This little scene is actually one of my favorites in gaming. Ristar swinging on a pole to build up momentum and launching himself into space is dang awesome. It also works as a perfect level transition, as the player's score and such show up on the screen while Ristar is streaming through space on his way to the next planet that needs his help. It's all just so incredibly cool, and I can't get enough of it. If you've been watching this video, then I likely don't need to tell you that Ristar is a treat to the eyes. The game's sprite art is absolutely wonderful, and really highlights just what the Sega Genesis was capable of. That makes sense, as Ristar was released late into the Sega Genesis lifecycle in 1995. That likely also explains why I think this game is better than any of the Sonic games that came out on that console. Yeah, I know, that's a controversial opinion that I'm throwing out there, but I stand by it. And to be clear, that's not me taking a swing at the Sonic games either, even if I do have some complaints about them. Instead, I just really believe that the developers of Ristar were able to learn from what Sonic Team had already set up in their first 4 games. Of course, I can't talk about Ristar without mentioning that he was in the running to be Sega's mascot before Sonic rolled in and took that spot for himself. While that kinda sucks because it means we didn't get more Ristar games, it also means he was saved from Sonic's fate of still being made by Sega to this day. So I guess I'll count that as a win. Like many games from this era, Ristar doesn't have an overly complex story. Even so, I do have to warn that spoilers are incoming. Ristar is all about the titular character heading out to save the Valgi galaxy from the evil space pirate Kaiser Greedy. He's taking control of the various planets' leaders, as well as Ristar's father, who's a legendary hero around these parts, and it's up to Ristar to set them free. At least, that's the version we got. The Japanese version is slightly different, and by slightly I mean a lot. In it, Ristar is awakened by his mother, Aruto. He's one of her star children and is being sent off to fulfill the wishes of the people. The people of Planet Flora, called Planet Near in Japan, wished to be saved before Greedy's mind control went into effect. There's also no mention of Ristar's father at all in the Japanese version of the game. I'm good for either one of these stories, but I can't deny that I enjoy the legendary hero version that we got in the US more. The idea of a son rising up to match his father's legendary reputation and taking over his responsibilities whenever he's unable to is a story trope that I've always had a soft spot for. So that's my bias at play there. The story finishes up with Ristar heading to Greedy's home base and headbutting him until he's down for the count. This is one of those boss fights that can really give the player a hard time. However, once they figure out the trick to avoiding Greedy's attacks, it's not too difficult to get through. After beating Greedy, the end of the game differs depending on the versions players have. In Japan, Greedy and his underlings are seen on a deserted planet watching Ristar fly by above. In the US version, Ristar is reunited with his father, and dang is he massive. Also, I love this little end scene, it's just so wholesome and sweet. If I haven't made it clear already, Ristar is a truly great game to play. It's not only one of the best games Sega has ever made, but one of the best platformers to ever come out. Luckily, players that want to check it out can find it on Steam for just $1. No, that's not a special sale price, the game just cost $1. At that price, players have no excuse for not giving it a look. Thanks for checking out this video, and feel free to like, comment, or subscribe if you enjoyed it. Also, you can hit me up on Twitter at Billum256 if that's your thing. And as always, take it easy.